me ask you, if you are to look at it from another perspective, when you have the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, or the governor of a state, or a minister, treated with so much reverence in Nigeria, everybody kind of like see them and bow and kowtow to them, at what point are we going to be able to put them to task if we don't treat them with less reverence? Because we seem to worship our leaders in Nigeria, don't we?
We don't worship our
We don't.
No.
You don't think so?
No,
sorry, I'm just asking.
Let him talk.
We don't worship our leaders.
If
we worship our leaders.
Okay, we revere them.
If we worship our leaders in Nigeria.
Because we kowtow.
If we worship our leaders in Nigeria,
yes, sir. If you see a big man,
open your mouth and call the office of the president kindergarten. You cannot.
How many people would be in a position to question the authority of the governor while you're working for him or not working for him in any state today?
Are they questioning the office?
No, I'm asking a question. You can answer.
There are lots of people.
How many people will question the office, the governor of any state or even a minister today? With the amount, no, I'm asking him a question. I'm asking a question. Could you please let me finish? I will get back to you, Mr. Doherty. Please let him answer the question.
How many people
would ask questions or question the position
of
a governor today?
As you can see, presently, people are asking questions.
But they're not getting answers.
They are getting answers.
You see,
we are not talking of. We are not based on party. We are talking of Nigeria here.
Exactly. Yes. And the office of the president.
And the office of the president. I believe the office of the president is number one. He's our father. We have to, no matter what is happening, we have to respect him.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Excuse me. Yes. Let me make this point. This point. BC Akamde that accuses the president. In the past, what has he done too? Everybody, you see, all these old men have done wrong. And nobody came out to talk. Let them allow this young man to do what he's supposed to do. And finish. When he goes, somebody else will come. Let's see what he will do.
Okay.
Let's focus on 2015 too. Let's go and look for people not criticizing Mr. President. Allow him to do what he do.
Okay, let me come back to Mr. Fasha King. Would you say that it's likely that Chief Akonde might have been thinking we should not revere the president, we should be in a position to express our thought? Will that be the reason, or will it be exactly what the young people are saying here, a serious issue of disrespect?
He's also a young man. He's not
May I finish, Mr. Doherty? Disrespect for the office of the president.
Thank you, Coyote. I think we need again to put this in proper perspective. Chief Bisi Akonde said, this is a kindergarten president. He didn't say that. I mean, he merely describing the leadership content of Mr. President. And let me say something.
Could you let someone speak, one person at a time, because we have very limited time and we've got to be able to take each individual's opinion. Please go on, sir.
He was talking more about the leadership content embedded in Mr. President. And look at it. Mr. President was part of the regime that gave promise to the university teachers in 2009. He was talking about broken promises earlier. Since 2009 till 2013, the promise, the agreement. I mean, somebody said government in Nigeria is the number 1419. And I tend to agree, because what this Yaradua, Jonathan, and continuation of Jonathan regime had done to the university teachers is nothing more than 419. No. And when you look at some of these things, you know, I mean, aspects of, misgovernance staring us in the face. Look, I give you an example. In 1983, General Muhammadu Buhari took over power. Now, in 2010, when he turned 68, I wrote an article, and it was widely published by Sahara reporters, eulogizing him, talking to him about his being 60. Somebody from a Nigerian called John Jato, a Benue, indigene, residing in Poland, wrote me and said when he was a student, on Benue State Scholarship in 1984, that he just saw that was in America. He was schooling in America. He just saw that his scholarship was terminated by the new administration, and he wrote back to the administration that why should you terminate my scholarship? He said the first thing that he got was a surprise that within 2 months, somebody from the private secretary of the new head of state wrote to him. Excuse me, please. Now, what I'm trying to point out was that a student got a response from a military regime. Now, an elder statesman just said that he had written series of letters to our president and never got a response from him. And now, when he now
Mr. Fashaki,
we're deviating from the issue.
I beg your pardon, gentlemen. I beg your pardon, gentlemen. I beg your pardon. Mr. Fashaki, I shudder to think how many letters get to the president's office on a daily basis, and how many he can possibly respond to. Maybe we should ask Mr. Abati that question. Maybe he can give us an insight. Because I know that there's no way the president can answer to every single letter that comes to his office. I'm absolutely certain of that. Okay, Chief Akonde is an elder statesman. Maybe his letter should have been singled out and something said about it. But it hasn't been done. It hasn't been done.
That's the big manism in the whole thing.
Now, if I may just add,
the man on the street,
Mr. Duarte will come to you in a minute.
No, but we're going beyond the whole thing.
We are within the remit of what we're
talking about other issues. We're talking about
we don't want to turn this into arguments. We're having conversation. Please, you will speak in a minute. I give you time to speak. Ms. Fashaki, we just got a tweet here. A gentleman called Olufemi K says, can we also call the APC a kindergarten party because it was registered by an administration you describe as kindergarten? What will be your response to that?
This administration did not register us.
Well,
it's not. There is. Excuse me. Let's understand something. You see, we must understand clearly that until we start putting in place institutions away from government bureaucracy, that's when we'll really have, make a headway in Nigeria. It's not the Jonathan administration that just registered us.
Let's
statutorily, we should be registered.
What will because be your response, Mr. Fashakin? What will be your response if anybody describes APC as a kindergarten party?
Of course, what
will be your response?
Democracy is about free speech. If they describe us as kindergarten, what we need to do is to go back and check whether indeed that appellation fits us.
Okay.
If it does, yes, we will come out and apologize that yes, we'll make we'll make amends on our ways. But if it doesn't, we'll come back and put cogent arguments to counteract those disparaging characterization of our persons, of our programs.
Thank you very much. Mr. Duarte has been angling to speak for a while, and let me ask you, because we cannot take all your opinions, but we do want to be able to ask the question. We've got to be able to ask the question on this program. Now, let me ask you the question. When someone says, I've written to the office of the president so many times and gotten no response whatsoever, do you think it is right?
You see,
I would want you to just go straight because we've got very little time left.
That's why I was trying to cut my colleague a bit short. You see, the issues are clear. You understand? Every Nigerian has the same right as Chief Akonde. every Nigerian, no matter who. Whether you are in APC, PDP, you are in even the transport union, you are a student.
But
a
in
student's letter is as important as Chief Akonde's.
But in reality,
you understand? That is the reality. In PDP, that's the reality. Now, let me put it straight like this. I don't have any problem with criticisms from any sector against the president. And the president is open to it. PDP has been one of the fairest parties in this nation. And the president will continue to take it. You haven't seen the president or SSS coming to pick somebody or locking somebody up or anything like that for what they say. They can question you. You understand? But the issue is this: respect, morality. What do we teach our young ones? What kind of Nigeria do we want? Do we want a united Nigeria? Do we want a fragmented Nigeria? Do we want a Boko Haram nice Nigeria? Do we want a polarized Nigeria? Do we want a Nigeria where we don't even give ourselves respect? That is the issue here. The other issues concerning what you have written to Barbados, or what you've written to China, or what you've written to anywhere, that does not matter. That comes later. But the main thing is respect. I will respect you. I will respect you as a human being. I will not call you kindergarten moderator. I won't call you a child. I won't call you names that will be offensive. Don't let us use offensive word, period.
Okay, Moses, you were going to respond to what Mr. Fashakin was saying.
Well, listening to him, I feel very sad that somebody, at his age, will be reacting to issues that concerns, what we are talking about, because this issue is a very sensitive issue. And, if I were to be someone who had actually loved, APC, but listening to him today, I would have changed my mind, because, I can't be, listening to people like this, because you will not continue, to stand for the values that we have as a people. Now, most importantly, let me make this record straight. We are talking about ASU strike. He's saying President gave commitment when he was VP, and all that. Government is an institution. And what ASU is asking for, if government is saying, okay, come to the table, let us negotiate. We have seen in this country, this same country, that ASU will go on strike and government will not be ready to meet with them. But now, they've been talking, negotiation process is going on. People are, and they are saying now, look, most importantly, because we have looked at this issue as the Nigerian young professionals, who are the end users, these students, they are suffering. These people who are members of ASU, they have completed their educational program. And these students are suffering. We have had our students, at home for over how many months now. They are not even talking about the welfare and the well-being of our students. They are talking about their own welfare. This whole thing is all about self-interest. The most important thing, that's why we are mobilizing young people for change in this country. Because what's going on in Nigeria gives us a lot of concern.
So what kind of change will the young Nigerian professionals want?
We are advocating for positive change. That's what we are advocating for. Because we cannot sit down and fold our hands and see people jeopardizing the future that we have collectively. For example,
Moses, let's have a little digression. Young Nigerian professionals, on the issue of ASU, what will be your response? Go back to work or what?
Well, they should listen to government. All these issues is all about dialogue. Sit down with government. Government says, okay, we can do this. We cannot do this. For the interest of the students. That is our own concern. For the interest of the students. Somebody says, oh, I want to have a 4-year program, or I want to have a 5-year program. I want to go into the university. Those are the things that we suffered when we were in the university. We're supposed to have a 4-year program, and we ended up having 6-year program because of ASU strike. We must say no to all this. What are the issues? Personal or self-interest? Government is not paying us well. Government is not doing it. And we, as an organization, we are advocating that the university should have self-autonomy, so that all these issues of ASU strike, no ASU strike, and all that, our students can have the best in life.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Fashakin,
Thank you very much. It is very disheartening that you have young people coming to live television to be, ready pawns. Excuse me, please. Excuse me, please. Excuse me, please.
No, but
Coming
you have to be
and be,
Can
you listen to me? Can you listen to me? Can you listen to me? Can you listen to me? It is disheartening to me.